Call to order the special council meeting for the Corporation of Brunel and Raglan. It's 19th day of October, year 2022 at approximately 7:04 p.m. I will do roll call. Councillor Banks.
Yes.
Councillor Young.
Here.
Councillor Kaufeld.
Here.
Councillor Rutledge.
Here.
All councillors are present. Next on the agenda is the adoption of the agenda. That the council for the corporation of the township of Brunel and Raglan adopt the agenda as presented. And you can move around that. Councillor Banks, second Councillor Rutledge. All in favor?
Yes.
That is carried. Disclosure of pecuniary interest with any of the matters before us tonight.
No.
Okay, seeing none. So the purpose of our meeting is we have a couple of agenda items. Item is 4.1 is a Grader report resolution. And it says that council for the corporation of the township of Brunel, Linddock, and Raglan allow the operations manager to purchase a used cat motor grader in the amount of not more than $200,000 plus HST from a reputable dealer. Further direct the clerk treasurer to finance the purchase for a term of 5 years, and further deem the 1992 Champion grader as surplus and advertise on Gov Deals for $15,000 minimum. So I need a mover on that. Councillor Banks, seconder, Councillor Young. And right now I'm going to allow staff to present the report, and then if you have any questions, we'll go from there.
Thank you, Your Worship. This report wasn't scheduled to hit the table until later on, possibly with the new council in the spring. Unfortunately, circumstances arose this week that we've had to bump it up. So it's a little bit of information. The municipality owns 2 graders. They're both 1992s. One is a cat, one is a champion. The champion has stake here at over 14,000 hours on it. The cat is just over 6. Champion stopped making graders in 1996, making it very difficult to source parts. Several issues over the last little while with the Champion arose. There's a pretty significant oil leak from the transmission. It's a daily thing where the operator needs to fill up the oil. At one point this summer, he was stranded on the road with it. The oil leak as such. It's intermittent. Some days it'll pour out, the next day it'll be okay, but it's a major issue, and it's soon going to leave the trend for good. There's bushings and bearings for the front steering. We were able to source parts for this, however, it took 2 months to get them. We were even uncertain if we were going to come. There's a continuous seal failure in the hydraulic bank, and several other issues. So like I said, staff continue to patch the grader together, but it has come time to replace it, unfortunately. The cat grader has ran flawlessly for 30 years. Recently, we've had issues with it just this week, and the grader is down. I put in here, it's a head gasket. The grader actually went to the back today. It's in their shop now. They diagnosed the problem and gave us a quote or an estimate, and it's going to fix it. Turns out it's not a head gasket, it's the injectors that are leaking, as well as a number of seal failures in the transmission. But the transmission has to be pulled off the unit and resealed. So it's, like I said, it's out of service. They're going to continue to work on it. The parts are on order with no clear timeline on when they will arrive. So we're not sure when we'll get the grader back, but parts are readily available if repairs no issue. So this leaves us with fall grading to continue to freeze up. However, with being short one grader, the second grader could fail any day. We are left with no equipment to maintain our roads up until freeze up. There's several roads that are in major repair, need major repair before winter. We continue to receive complaints. Staff have looked at a few options to replace the Champion. I have 3 of them on the table that are worthy of looking at. I actually found it, the third one today has been sold, so we're down to 2. one on hold. That's the decision. So the 2015 cat, it's basically one size smaller than our cat grader now. But in today's cat world, it's basically the same grader that we have, same horsepower, same blade width, pretty much everything's the same on it. 6,500 hours approximately on it, and they're asking 179,000. Availability was to be confirmed tomorrow. It's just somebody else that has spoke for it. The 2012 cat 140, which is identical to what we have now, 5,300 hours. They're asking 200 for it. This one is in Sudbury. Availability is to be confirmed today. It is still available. It's hours if you want it. There's 2011, and that's the one that's sold. So new motor graders, just a little bit of information to council. This size range from 550,000 to 600,000 new. Should council approve this purchase of financing, talking Virginia, finance through Infrastructure Ontario, won't take effect until next year's budget, so we can balance the budget accordingly. That's that. So information on our grader is the Quebec's. It's like I said, the injectors, the transmission. There's a couple other gaskets that are in place will have a part. Estimate right now is $10,000. That could be plus or minus. A little further information for council on that. To date, 2021 total that has been spent on that particular grader over the years. What do we have here? 8,400, 8,450 roughly.
This year.
No, that's 2021 total. Is that a running total for the machine? Yeah. Yeah, champion. Sorry. Wrong paperwork with me, sorry about that. There's about a $12,000 difference in what we spent on the champion versus the cat.
And it's the champion that's done.
That's done. It's time to go. I suggest getting rid of it now while it's still mobile. It does have a wing to go with it, so I think it would be attractive to somebody in the bush who would be looking for something in the bush. That was the time you partly it.
So then we would finance it with a loan from infrastructure. What is the interest rate on that now, do you know? So that would be like we done with our half tons and our other equipment, our loader, and that would just make payments, I know, over 5 years.
So just for your information, the only thing we have left for our half tons
They're paid this year though, aren't they?
and the office.
2024. Oh, okay. Yeah, the
The
office
loader
is,
paid for, the last plow truck paid for.
Yeah.
So we have a fair amount of room to work with in there.
Yeah. I guess it's one of those things, I mean, sooner or later we want, I mean, if you look at our schedule of equipment, what year you're supposed to replace them, I know we're way behind, and I know graders was definitely one of those things, and I guess basically what you're asking for right now, you would like to approve this before budget time, so that if you have the ability to find something within a price range, and something that's a decent machine, you can pick it up and not wait till March.
well, is it,
I'm hoping to act now and
Yeah.
not here next week.
Right.
yeah, that one for 179 is available, right?
It's available, the $200,000 one. I'm almost aiming for the $200,000 one. It's a little bit heavier grader.
Yeah.
And it's a little beefier, comes with a ripper.
Oh, okay.
It's from Arizona, so it's never seen salt. I will show you some pictures of it after. There's still paint on the main blade, like it hasn't been used.
1,200 less hours.
Yeah, 1,200 less hours, a bigger and heavier machine.
And we're talking about $20,000. which in,
My
for a grader is not.
And that's the one I'm going to push for. If it's gone before I get back, then I'm gonna fall back on the 2015. And 2015 comes from Florida, so hasn't been on road salt per se, but it's close to the ocean, so it's.
You get that
May have
salt,
salt
yeah.
in the year. Picture-wise, I would like to look at that one. Pictures, it looks immaculate. What I would do with the 2012, the company that has it, they would do a rent to own. I would rent it for a month. If it's not what we want,
And
send it
then-
back.
yeah.
It would save us a trip to Sudbury to look at it.
Yeah.
Maybe deliver to the yard for that price, so. It's here, we can run it for a month, try it out, is what we want, we purchase it. And 80% of the monthly rent goes towards the purchase, so we're only gonna get, instead of $8,000 a month rent,
Mhm.
we only get $1,000.
And if you're gonna get to try it, that's,
Yeah.
that's, yeah.
It's gonna cost more for us to go up there and float it back and everything else.
Well, I don't think it's any news to us about the grader. I mean, this has been talked about for years, but nothing has been done.
It's a big pill to swallow. I could have presented it, maybe you want me to present a new grader to you and start a tender process.
No, no. No, I personally don't,
Yes.
because we're looking at 200,000 versus 600,000.
It does.
And plus, we
And
might have to
we-
wait for a year for it.
That's the thing.
And we know we have other aged equipment.
We've got other things that we need to take care of, get ourselves kind of back on the ground. And then down the road in 5 years, 10 years, we can swing back to looking at something different.
Yeah.
I think after the cat we have now is repaired and back on the road, you're gonna get another 5 more years out of it.
Yeah.
Gonna put it closer to the 40-year mark and it'll be time to send it down there.
Have you talked to Will, to our accountant, about the financing for next year and? But I know we don't have, the financing part works well in our budget, because we have done it in the past.
Yeah.
And I don't think we have much of an alternative right now, we're kind of backed into the wall.
Mhm. So any other questions or comments?
I personally don't like approving this type of thing at this time of the year, like committing a future year budget, but
Right before election.
and right before election, I mean, we're gonna be the most favored people,
It's unfortunate, it's,
but we're
like I
gonna,
said, this report was going to hit this table sooner rather than later, and it would have been by spring for sure.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, it's either now or it's
Yeah.
5 months from now. And you're
But-
gonna be
I think we're gonna be less favorable if we don't have our roads in shape for the winter, because you know what that, and then that's gonna be hard on our snowplow equipment, and, you know, like, we're just,
And I can't predict the weather, but next week we could get a massive storm and wash out our roads
Yes.
again.
yeah,
One grader cannot simply keep up with all of our roads.
no,
The council's comfortable with that, I want to look at those 2 machines and potentially pick one of the 2.
Okay, so call for the vote. Yes, go ahead, John, sorry.
If I'm hearing you right, then the graders at the vet, you're gonna fix it?
We're gonna fix the cat that we currently have, because we can still source parts for it.
And you're gonna hang on to it?
We're gonna hang on to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're gonna scrap them? What
Yeah,
about the tires, rolling tires on all those graders, is there any possible chances swapping them out?
if they are the same size, we could. I think it's gonna take more work than, the graders that we're looking at have fairly new tires on it. And I'm not sure that they're the same size, so we can look at that. They are fairly new tires on it, yes.
yeah, we bought those the other year. Last year?
You got tires for this grader
Last year.
this year and last year, that's 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
now.
There's no more questions then? Let's vote, all in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Then that's
I can
carried.
show you guys, this is the 2015. Basically, the only difference between this and the other one, they're on the same chassis. The only difference is a heavier axle in the 140. They have the same engine, just to reduce horsepower in the smaller one. The blades are the same, everything's the same, controls are the same.
Do they have wing attachments?
This one does not, no. Not a huge necessity, it would be nice to have.
Yeah,
For
depending on,
springtime
we don't
operation,
know.
but it's not a huge necessity, and it's something if we want, a wing to be installed on one of these is $20,000.
Oh,
So if we want to look at that in the future, we do that. See, it's all new rubber on the back. One front tire is down, but the other one's new. It's, yeah. Good shape.
so which garage is this one at? That we're-
This 2015 is in
No.
Hamilton. Oh,
For which garage are we buying them for?
I would see on the operator comfort, I'm not sure Jimmy would want to operate something that's new, it's what they call a piano board. The old ones are all levers that operate. This one's joysticks.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure Jimmy would want
Yeah.
to get onto this late in his career,
Yeah.
but I would most certainly offer it to him if he wants to try it out. If not,
You may never leave.
the old guy, he might never leave. This has air conditioning, Jimmy might be in second heaven. We'll see what he wants to get, I will ask you. Yeah.
Okay.
I did have pictures of the 12 that I'm more interested in. We'll give me a moment, try and pull it up. I've not had it left before the meeting. The 2011 that I did have my eye on was through Brand Tractor. We have a dealer in Ottawa, and they would have brought it here.
Yeah.
They would have brought it here for us half the price. Great.
Yeah.
Which is very nice. This is the one I'm more interested in.
Yeah.
See the thing, so
Oh, yeah.
it's never been painted. That's all original paint. There's your control since you. This one would have a ripper on the back of it. That's it.
Yeah, okay.
It's light.
Mhm.
Okay, we will move on.
So call the vote and all in favor, so now we're down to item 5.2. And it's the tractor replacements. And the resolution says the council for the corporation of Brunel and Dr. Act will allow the operations manager to purchase a used tractor. With all the needs of the municipality not in excess of 68,000 plus HSD. For the director of treasury process payment using surplus equipment income and financing the balance, sorry. I need more on that, Councilor Banks, a second, Councilor Young, and I will allow Jordan to do the report.
Thank you, Your Worship. So obviously, this is not a new topic. We've talked about this at the table before. Last line in my report, that the tractor that was on the deals that council approved spending up to 50,000 on actually sold for 92,500, which kind of blew me away. I have not stopped looking, so I found another one. It was at the same dealership that the 2015 Cat Reader did. So if possible, we may end up looking at both of those items at the same dealer. So what I found My report's identical to the last one, gives you a breakdown of what it cost us for roadside mowing, et cetera, and why we're here talking about this. What I found is a 2016 International, it's 110 horse. It's got a bucket, loader bucket. It's plumbed for attachments on the loader, so we can put a sweeper on it. It's got
How many outlets, how many banks?
one on the front, two on the back. I can show you some pictures of it as well. It's got 2,500 hours on it, so it's fairly new. Where is there? It's got wheel weights in the back already.
What is it used for before, Jordan?
I'm not sure, John. I'm thinking farming. It's been kind of on a farm supply site, so it's not showing a whole lot of wear and tear really. It's pretty clean on the back here.
Give some lessons before you put people in the driving?
I have a particular operator in mind who has almost identical tractor to this, so I know he's fairly sensible on the equipment. And knows how to run it and maintain it, so. We're able to put forks on the front here, lots of lifting capability, we can lift pallets of calcium, move culverts around and stuff like that.
Quick attach loader, bucket?
Quick attach bucket, and lever right there, it slips into those slots. And
It doesn't have forks, so.
it doesn't, no, I'm not sure, I never priced those, so forks work. Probably $5,000 or so
If,
on the high end.
Well, you can get just two forks, shoot it up.
And we don't have a sweeper, right?
No.
The other
sweeper attach-
tractor we were looking at had it.
Alley sweeper, yes, and I looked that up, actually, it's a $10,000 attachment. There's a plumbing for the sweeper if we were to put one on. Very clean,
Did you get a person on there?
I did. 67.5. That's why I requested 68, just to have a little bit. If I don't settle for the 2012 or the cat grader, and we go for the 2015, I want to try and bundle a package deal together
Or to get.
for both of them. And I've already talked to the salesman about that. So,
You said 50,005?
67, well, 67.9, 67.9, sorry. So that's it. Everything else out there is got a lot of hours on it, or it's not quite big enough. This would definitely suit our needs and be able to do our roadside more, no problem.
I'm rushing.
And it's brushing, yeah. And again, if we want to put sweeper attachment on it, in the future, we have the capability of doing so.
And how do we propose to finance this one?
So, what I propose is we use the income from our surplus sales. So that's just shy of 20,000 coming from Gov Deals. And we're around the $25,000 mark for our compactor. As well, when the new plow truck arrives, we will have another surplus plow truck going up. That will help offset that, and if we do get the champion grader on here, that'll also go towards it. So there may be fairly little to actually finance on this once we're done.
Yeah.
I can't give you a solid number on that right
No,
now.
that's okay, I just wondered what the plan was.
It's a year and tidy. That's my proposal.
I mean, if we can finance it pretty well from surplus equipment that's doing nothing,
No,
to have something that's useful.
There might be something within your own budget for the roads.
Yeah,
We could have a budget line that we are also, we might like our
Finance,
finances.
I can say you don't finance anything, right?
yeah,
I just want to be prepared. in case we do this and have council's consent on that to go forward.
Yeah.
We will try not to. but-
Yeah.
well, it's unfortunate that, you know, like the equipment wasn't replaced on a regular basis over the years, and then we get a whammy, like now, you're backed into a corner, like, what do you do?
That's the unfortunate thing that, yes, there's never been a real plan for roll over everybody. And now we're seeing the effects of that.
And how do you tell your ratepayers that, well, we can't grade the roads this fall because we don't have a grader?
Exactly.
They're not gonna be there.
So up or not. So it's trying to do some damage control. So anyway, that's the way it operates.
Any other questions from council?
No.
None. So I'll call for the vote on the resolution and all in favor?
Yes,
Yes.
That is scary. Okay, so we're down to item 5.3, and the resolution says the council for the corporation township Brunel Lindbacher Ag will accept the offer of $550 for the purchase of the 2009 F-250. I need a mover on that, Councillor Banks, a seconder, Councillor Kaufman. I guess we have a little bit of a report on this, Jordan, I'll let you know.
Yes, your worship, a quick report. Council is aware of what happened to this vehicle. And I was directed to basically send it for scrap. Scrap dealers are offering $450 for the truck. Since the meeting. Sorry. We have somebody that's sworn in. Since our previous meeting, written offers for the truck, one for $500 from Mike Anderson, and one for $550 from Mary Clark.
Has he got a guy that can learn anything?
That's his
That's his
problem.
It might be worth more than a truck.
You might hear travel engine. So we want it out of the yard, and that's fair.
But they're not gonna switch the plow off there, but on this one, he goes with the plow.
No,
stop.
what's on it goes, and he's aware of that. So council okay with that?
Any other questions of council then? No, so none then, I'll call for the vote then, all in favor?
yes,
That is carried.
There's another $550.
I was gonna say, yeah. Okay, so that kind of closes up the open part of our meeting. So right now we have to go to close. And the resolution says that we, the council for the corporation of Township Brunel and Ag, will go to closed session pursuant to the Municipal Act 2001, section 239, subsection 2, for the purposes of subsection B, personal matters about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees, and subsection F, advice that is subject to solicitor-client privilege, including communications necessary for that purpose. So I need a mover on that, Councillor Banks, second Councillor Young, all in favor?
Yes.
That is carried.
Yes.
Okay, so the resolution says that the council for the corporation of the township of Brunel, Lindau, and Valley is pregnant by closed session at 7:52 PM. And you move around that, Councillor Cuffold, seconder, Councillor Rutland, all in favor?
Yes.
And that is carried. So during close, there was one issue of a personal matter about an identifiable individual. That was discussed, and we had one issue of advice that is subject to solicitor-client privilege, including communications necessary for that purpose. confirmatory bylaw that we, the council for the corporation of Township of Bruno, Lindau, and Raglan, hereby adopts bylaw 2022-59, being a bylaw confirming proceedings of the October 19th, 2022 special meeting of council. I need a mover on that. Councillor Hufeld, seconder, Councillor Yon, all in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
And that is carried. And the last resolution says that this meeting adjourned at approximately 7:54 PM. I need a mover on that. Councillor Rutledge, and I only need a mover on that. All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
And the meeting is adjourned.